Hello guys, and welcome back to Strategic Command, World War II World at War, with our first ever PvP against SirTravis. In the last episode, we went into February 13th of 1942, getting started on our turn, handling Germany and Italy in their entirety. Pretty quick and easy, considering the fact that those two are, well, Italy has a lot going on, but they have upgrades to work through and such. Germany's in the winter and playing defensive, so once again, not a whole lot to do there. Or that I can do, even if I wanted to. I'm quite limited in that regard. Mostly just reinforcing planes and fixing shit up. Really nothing worth bombing when you're in the middle of the winter and supply is crap. And your readiness morale is low due to Soviet winter effects and whatnot. All we really have is Japan left, but Japan's in quite an interesting situation. Having just done Pearl Harbor, wiping out all 3 battleships that spawned, he moved his heavy cruiser around to retreat, ran into the sub, just like I planned. I had this fail-safe as well. And he hasn't shown up with anything else. Probably because once that sub trap happened, he just figured, well, shit, I better not run in. So our job is done. Pearl Harbor is a success. I'm not invading it like in my PvE. It's just far too expensive to really be doing right now, but we also have to maintain it with the war in China, which is also further expanded now by the fact that we have to deal with Burma and Thailand and, you know, Malaya. This is all a big thing now. We got a paratrooper in place to work with, and I was just gonna rush it in, and that really is just, you know, what I could do. Supply from Bangkok usually ends up being pretty well, but it doesn't look amazing just yet. Maybe it has to build up. I'm not really sure. But we do need to get an HQ over there, and for that, I already have one in mind, and that's the Mutagushi HQ. We also need to get placements set up for these amphibious units for going into Manila. I went ahead and moved 2 of my special forces up. We're going to use our amphibious attacks first. Overall, dealing 1 singular damage, but lowering his entrenchment back down to 0. He's got the Far East Air Force fighters here. We're going to go ahead and land. That puts me right next to his strategic bombers, and as much as I'd love to take that, though, they are not my main focus. We did suffer 2 casualties while landing with this other one over here. We do have that extra one that we can use as well, and so I'll probably send that one down here as well. We'll do another amphibious attack there. This time dealing 2 damage and taking none. Oh, well, I guess we'll start with the special forces. We're going to go ahead and attack, dealing 3 damage as promised, taking none. Go ahead and attack, dealing 4 damage, 1 more than expected, taking none. We're going to go ahead and land with a 3rd one and go wipe out his strategic bombers. This is what he just used to strategically bomb us over by Hong Kong. These fighters will probably get away, but wiping out an entire strategic bomber unit is pretty useful. The 2 of them alone were enough to basically secure Manila, as in killing the unit on top of it. But I did end up needing that 3rd one to actually take it this turn, and that is very invaluable. We will need this taken. We will need this taken. It is important to get that taken. So that's an extra bit of money we're going to have to spend all in all. Eventually, we'll cycle cores in. All of these will be going elsewhere eventually. First, we do have to secure the Philippines. It will probably surrender now. All of its Philippine-specific units will surrender. Any remaining Americans will remain, and we will kill them unless he figures out how to retreat them. There's definitely the HQ still here, MacArthur. I don't think he's moved them to get them out. He's had extra time because my invasion has been slow, not really up to snuff, if you ask me. And now we do need to pay for some operations. We need to operate 3 armies down south so that we have, well, armies to deal with some things. So I'm going to start with the Thai Expedition Army, and I guess I'll send that right here. It's going to cost some money. Every single one of these is 22 MPPs. We'll send the Indochina Expedition Army over here as well. And then the 1st Kwantung Army was also going to be heading over there. That's the 3rd one. So we will operate that one. Is that one still also 22? It's 26 because it has a little bit more strength. Well, the placement is I'll just operate it down here like that. So we'll have 3 Japs down here to handle this. We have the paratroopers, which is just going to move up normally for right now. We do have to get a HQ here, so I'll probably use the Mutagushi HQ. We'll put that 42 MPPs to get it in a transport. That's Level 7 commander, level 7 commander. This is really the best we have lying around otherwise, so that's not too bad. These are 8, 8, and autosave. Just wait for the autosave. Yeah, go fuck yourself. 8. What else? 5. Itagachi's terrible. Itagachi's only a 5 and a 7. Teruchi. So all my best ones are just grouped up right here, as it would seem. Jesus Christ, I really need to replace Itagachi at some point because he's not doing so great. There will be an upgrade soon, so everyone will get a little bit better. But really, good God, Itagachi, you really need an upgrade. 90 MPPs to do that upgrade. Not sure if I want to do that. It's probably more important than most things right now. I would say so. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and replace Itagachi with Takagi. Itagachi with Tatagi. Oh, I can't say these names, man. Takagi. So that's already much better. 2 ratings up, and we save a little bit money. We don't have to pay for an 8 because we haven't gotten the actual upgrade yet. Down to 229 MPPs already. We do have to pay for this, for Mutaguchi. Let's take Mutaguchi, and we're just going to force sail him right around down here. Land him in Bangkok. So now he'll spread supply further from this location, as well as giving us more to work with. And the armies will probably head south. We'll probably play defensive around Burma, or we could go for Burma first again. I don't really know. Singapore is important. It's not like ultra important. Burma is probably more important, getting Rangoon taken. I don't know if he has anything on Lashio. I don't really know. We're going to need to send an HQ over that way. We can afford to do that, yeah. Probably send Yamashita off in that direction. It's either going to be Yamashita or Kimura. Either one will do. Kimura might be better for that. The movement would work kind of seamlessly if we chose to do that. And someone's going to have to backtrack to go follow after him. And, well, probably 2. We'd want 2 of these guys backtracking to go after him while we send 3 to kind of join up. Although eventually we wouldn't even need that much, huh? Because these fronts are going to combine after a while. Alright, well, let's see. I'm going to move the Central Expedition Army forward for right now. Against the river here in the mountains. Not entrenched, but the youth army over here, which is very elite, is chilling out. They don't stand as much of a chance against us. We can hurt them with our current state, but we might not want to. We'll send the 34th Army over to the right one time. We see his heavy RD is here. I'm going to go ahead and just blitz attack that. Defensive RD fires. We dealt 2 damage. We took no damage. I don't expect his RD to do a whole lot to me. I can get Yamashita moved up to Chungking, so I will. This will vastly boost our supply in the region and increase bonuses. Kimura will head west. We'll send Kimura west. As for anybody else, we do have garrisons in place. We're probably going to need more garrisons soon. And we do have another one already ready, so that's good. Supply will bounce off to the west a little bit better here in a moment. But again, we're going to need more. We have a pretty easy kill to score up here. I'm going to go ahead and attack with our weaker, less upgraded army in the area. Scoring that easy kill as I expected. Not a whole lot of room to move forward with how all of this is set up. And the fact that this unit's still alive, despite the fact that his supplies gone. This unit is such a pain in the ass. I don't think it's doing like amazing for him other than getting on my nerves. And he's left me right next to his HQ, which is like, why? Why would you just leave all these valuable units in front of me? I don't understand. This guy's very entrenched, so I don't really want to budge him at all. We're going to move the 17th Army forward instead, which now has a pretty good sight on Xi'an. We could move forward here as well, but the gains are maybe not the best in the world. I'm going to move this RD up. We're going to have to force it, but I'm going to move this RD up right around here. It will help with everything and anything that is to come. I think I prefer to just leave this army here for right now. I could go ahead and start bombing, but I don't feel that I need to. What I'm going to do instead is probably move this core up for right now. It's not supposed to be part of the offensive, and it's certainly not going to remain part of any offensive movements. We can get this corps moved up to here, and then this takes care of these 2 garrison points right here. We do need something eventually for Yichang, but here or here is a really tough call when I don't really have anything else to leave in the area. I think I'll just move up to here for right now. So we'll put that right there. And we can't really pull off any attacks, but I want to base the air now somewhere more around Wuhan and Yichang. That is something that I want to do. This arty is kind of getting in my way and being a little difficult as a result of being in my way. Maybe I should just start bombing that out of existence just to make this a little easier to do. Because I do want to shift up there, and yeah, this arty's just in my way. Okay, fine. We'll run some bombing runs on the arty to deal whatever damage we can. We didn't proc any fighters or anything. We could try a blitz attack here. No damage dealt or anything, but its readiness morale is very low, and that one supply will come to bite it. Yeah, at the end of the day, my goal is going to be to get these guys further to the northeast. So, especially staying in supply either way is important. So we're going to start moving some things. We'll leave the medium bomber on Henyang. We want to get them kind of where the front's going to be, because all the front's going to be in like one location at this point. So getting everything there is just ideal. We'll leave this for a prepared attack. This guy can't do anything right now. These 2 guys could stay around here, but the value gained from that is debatable on whether or not that's actually worth it. We certainly can't push any offensive there. I'm gonna move this as far this way as you can go for right now. I'm gonna just move this HQ right here. The buddy system for HQs will be necessary for bouncing supplies once we narrow down into like 2 paths. So keeping 4 HQs around here is ideal. 1 and 1 here is just really the best I can do for now without the buddy system. There is another HQ available. There's another one coming, and there's even more that we could buy if we want to. But we're already burned through most of our MPPs, half of them, but most of them that are feasibly usable. So the rest is gonna have to be split up in an intelligent manner. There's a lot of little islands and stuff that we still need to go for. And for that, we're going to need to actually put things out to sea. Reinforcing things that have landed is pretty vital while they still have high supply. It goes down by 1 per turn, so we have a couple of turns to take advantage of that. A couple. I want to put at least 2 things out to sea right now. It's just a matter of what. If we could snipe one of these, that would be great. So moving the South Sea Special Forces out into an amphibious transport is probably ideal. That's 1. And then getting Nauru is going to be pretty useful as well. So maybe over here, the 2nd Curry as well. So we're going to go ahead and put that one out to sea. We have 50 MPPs remaining that we can use. Anything that is going here is going to be maybe not the top priority. The port over here isn't fully in our control, which is a weird, annoying thing that happens sometimes. I don't know if I really need to move to fix it, but I certainly can move. And there you go, now it's under our control. We can't upgrade these as a result, so let's go ahead and reinforce these ones. Only 13 MPs remaining. That would not have been enough to reinforce these anyway, and that one was higher anyway, so we got that up to 10. Good enough for right now. 13 MPPs remaining. Very few places to spend it. I can't upgrade this fighter now that I've done what I've done. Getting the fighter moved would be nice. The furthest I can get it right now is over to Changsha, but I mean, it's a pretty decent spot for right now. So we'll move up towards Changsha, because this is where the fighter, the singular fighter that we have, is gonna go. These cores will have to move some other time. We've pushed this as far as we can, putting off research as a result. We still need to move the entire Pearl fleet, but now that we've spent this much, again, there's not a whole lot we can do. We can go ahead and put 1 point of reinforcements into the core on Batavia, just so we have at least something going there, because I've been severely neglecting it. It just hasn't been in the budget, man. We want to be very careful, because we do know he has weakened submarines somewhere out here. Going in that straight line, we found nothing. If we go up northwest even more, we find nothing. This is with our 2 destroyers. So I guess I can probably assume that he doesn't have it in a direct path heading back to Japan, for which some of our carriers for instance, they're going to need to go back to Japan. Some of the other carriers, however, are doing just fine, more than fine. So I've gone ahead and moved the Kaga and the Hiryu westwards. Oh, wow, when you force march, it doesn't show any zone of control. Wow, they've gone over here just to chillax because they don't need anything at all from the homeland, but probably going to go back, recover, do ASW upgrades, and then send them out again later, probably to harass down here in the south. We'll see. We'll see, really. I don't know exactly how we're going to do this, but I want to be a little more cautious when going back than I've otherwise been. One of these subs needs to kind of go confirm that everything is all right over here. Okay, so we know everything's nice and clear heading that way, so we can go ahead and start moving in that direction, I guess. We need to figure out like a full screen circle. We could start it back here, probably. For that, we'll need to force march something or other. Let's say just this battleship for now. Because the battleships are out. They're going to need to be careful, though. They really need to be careful. I can move this heavy cruiser over here to check for subs. There is no sub anywhere over there. I don't know where he went ahead and moved that sub. Before we move these carriers as well, we're going to want to have them all set to fighter mode because we're not going to be bombing right now. There's no use in that. If we do any bombing, it would be ASW. It would come from the Zuiho. And for that, we need to know where that sub is to begin with. So I'm going to go straight up this way. Straight up like that. All right, yo, dog, it's fully clear, man. It's fully clear. I'll force march, quote unquote, up here this way. We can do a normal movement over here this way. That allows me to do a normal movement over here this way. And we could do a force march of this way. Now we just need to plug in the gaps. So we can move that normally. And then we got to move all this stuff back up. There you go. And then we can close them in. Got to have them completely surrounded, ideally, for optimal efficiency. The battleship can just, this one can just go sit in port. So it's still in the same region to be able to assist, but it's not really in any danger. Once he assumes that I have cleared out of the area, he is going to come over here. He's probably gonna try to bomb here if he thinks that I'm still there or something, but we could leave some sub traps in the region for the time being. It's either that, we either leave sub traps or we head down here and start raiding the Australians down there. But I think I'd want a closer resupply base before we do that. Since we know he hasn't moved any ships over here so far, I think I'll utilize what supply we have right now to lay some sub traps. There are fighters. Fighters can spot. So there is that to be concerned about, but I mean, my fighters only have a spotting range of 2, and that's with long range aircraft 2. So it's like right here, it's 1, 2, just don't get that close, you know? So let's say we move right about here, and let's say we move right about here. So now we would catch him trying to move into the port from any direction. So if he sends anything over here, we got a nice sub trap laying in wait for him. And we'll do that. We'll leave that there to try to be productive with those subs. We got the other sub that kind of, the DEI sub that partook in some recon for the time being. That is all of our MPPs though. So there's nothing else I could do in terms of reinforcing. We're not done with all of our movements, however. There's still more to do. We moved up this RD. There's some other attacks we could do. This is the only one really worth doing, is a prepared attack against the Chen HQ here. Is it worth taking 1 damage? I would say so. I would say that yes, it is. It's a fucking HQ, for fuck's sake. The Chen HQ. This can really fuck with stuff, especially because this is on the supply point. So I think I will go for that blitz attack. I think I will. Yeah. We dealt the 4 damage we expected, and we took none. Okay, so that really just worked out perfectly. So that's big damage. That's really hard to reinforce. You know, he didn't reinforce this unit here at all, because he's probably just really low on MPPs, and he doesn't know what to do. 17th Korean Army is probably just going to stay here for right now. It needs to go south eventually, but this isn't going to be a front really anytime soon, and I don't know. I don't have anything else that I want to put there. A core there I guess would be ideal just as a defensive fixture. Maybe that's what this one could do eventually. It could just be a defensive fixture for there so that we could clear out the army. But for right now, it's just going to chill out, stay where it is, hold its ground. Nothing special. We can go for a prepared attack against the Peng HQ, dealing sadly only 1 damage and taking 1. So that went absolutely terribly compared to what the game told us was going to happen. We could do a prepared attack over here, dealing 3 damage, taking none, so a little bit better than we were told. 1 damage dealt, none taken, so that kind of evens itself out. We can move this arty down. It's going to be too vulnerable over here if you ask me. I don't know if the zones of control are enough to keep this army here. Well, with the snow and the mountains, it probably is enough. It probably is enough. So I will, I think, just go ahead and move down here. We have all of our shells. We're in place defensively with the armies here. He certainly can't get there. We can't even go there, for fuck's sake. So if we can't go there, he can't go there. There's no ability to do any upgrades of mobility anywhere because we just don't have the MPPs to do stuff like that right now. I can't even get this garrison fully into the mountains where I want it, but it's not a problem just yet. Again, we will need stuff here, but I think some planes are going to end up there. So we don't need to worry about that just yet. We already have a garrison. We will need to pay for more at some point. I'm going to take the North Chinese Front Army. I'm going to move it south 1 just to scout out. We see over by Lashio, there's absolutely nothing waiting for us. I will go ahead and move further down the road with the intent of claiming that. This is going to force him to either rail something up from around Rangoon or just let me take that. We know we're good with Wanting because we got an HQ moving up and another army that is moving up to kind of push and hold around that front. We have a garrison back here. It is a little risky of a move, but it is calculated. There's too much mountains and jungles around here for him to flank me in any meaningful way or anything like that. I just hope he doesn't go for the DEI because I haven't had the money to put into its defenses, and now we're going on so many offenses that I need to spend 140 MPPs every turn just getting new special forces in the water, not to mention everything else that I need to do. But hopefully some of these things will bring me some MPPs. I mean, I don't think anything I've taken so far has, but Nauru will have that mine that will add up to be something. The Solomons is worth something at least. Moresby is worth something. Down here, I don't think we'll really go for too quickly. But then if you turn this way, Thai, Bangkok is worth some MPPs. So we're getting some MPPs from Bangkok. We could get some from Singapore and whatnot. We're getting more and more the more we move into China. That mine is building up. Chengdu is building up. And so I think we have everything the best we can have it. It's definitely moving slow, but that's kind of like a theme all throughout the world and this front. But for now, we've done everything that I can probably think of to do. Well, we could move forward this medium bomber. I haven't moved it forward in a little bit. We could move it forward, yeah. Let's go ahead and move it forward so we could do some bombing. I can't really afford to do much bombing with it, but we'll still move it forward at the very least. And go ahead and hit end turn. Loss of Philippines reduces US morale, so the Philippines has surrendered. Japan celebrates the surrender of the Philippines, yeah. Philippines surrenders. We plundered 41 MPPs, that's amazing. He does have Corregidor. He's just got those fighters there. I can't see anything else to the south. Indomitable Carrier deploys for service. Truant Sub deploys for service. Yep. General MacArthur arrives in Australia. Well, who the fuck was over here then? I don't remember. Allied Razors disrupt DEI Japan convoys. Huh. I'll have to make a note of that. U-505 hit by rough seas. Oof. I'll have to make a note of that. Catfish hit by rough seas due to the rain. Japanese submarine shells the California coast. He might actually think that means there's a sub there. There's not. I thought there was as well, but there's not. Spying and intelligence level 2 done. So we lost a little bit of DEI stuff. So he has a sub around there. Makes sense. Yeah, so that makes sense. We'll be able to see where that is once he gets the turn back to us. But for now, we have to wait until he gets the turn back to us. And we have enough time in this episode to at least view his replay. So I'll call this right here, this recording, and we'll pick up when he gets the turn back to us. And I got the turn back from Travis, and he had some very weird messages that he sent me, where he seemed kind of deflated, because he told me to forget about them the moment he sent them. It was very strange. So I don't know if this was a very good turn from him. We got that American light cruiser running around. He's completely pulling away from Addis Ababa. Has he just given up? Has he just said, fuck it, I'm leaving Ethiopia be? He just pulled away his HQ and his core. I don't know what that's for. He's doing a lot of stuff in the fog of war. That's why it's taking a minute. Some retreats by China that I expect. Reinforcement over here. He's bombarding the port, which can make some sense, but we don't rely on that port for supply. He just took some damage, which is good, and is just exactly what I expected. He's moving around, still going on the offensive in the winter, taking 2 damage, dealing none. Again, I expect nothing less. I really expect nothing less, and that's the replay. Okay, that was faster than I thought. Yeah, he seemed very, very frustrated, just based on what I could tell about that Helsinki port damage from shore bombardment. He's putting America's MPPs to diplomatic use because Ireland's moved 6% towards the Allies. Some bullshit that doesn't matter down here. UK, alright. We're not disrupting any UK USSR. There's absolutely no UK USSR being disrupted this turn. Okay. Ha! 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 Ha ha! Dude, that's the opposite of a sub trap. That's a destroyer trap for subs. That's what that is. Oh, that's funny, man. It's funny because I see it and I know that it's there. He's moved his fighter back. All right. All right, cool. And that's everything. That's his turn done. Yeah, he seemed very frustrated about this situation. He said, so like, am I supposed to attack you during the winter or just let you die of attrition? I asked what? And he goes, forget it. And so I'm like, are you wanting a more offensive? And he just says, no. Should have deleted that question. Which, it sounds very strange, doesn't it? So I think that's just like frustration on his part of not getting the results that he had hoped for. Supply is spreading onto this front quite a bit better. I'm really amazed that he just left Ethiopia be. He just completely left here. We have like terrible supply because we're like surrounded. We've been surrounded, but we survived. I can't do anything. We have 2 supply here, but if he stays away, maybe supply will recover? I don't know. Right now, it's getting fucked up by Egypt. Maybe he's pulling back to get to... There's no rail line down here. Why are you pulling back this way? Where could you possibly go? He might be going to a port to try to transport elsewhere because he might really want to desperately hold on to Egypt. Yeah, I'm really not sure. All right, so I took this sub from up here, moved it down there. Leaving this one up here for now, just to keep an eye on things. It seems like he turned off the tap to the USSR from the UK, which is very strange, but that's what it seems like has happened. I moved one of these over to this port to get it more supply. This, I turned away and went south. I'm going to put it down here. It's pretty stationary, not a lot of action. And I sent the sub that was right here into this port. He's been operating a fleet around here for a long time. We haven't really seen anything past south. It's all been engaging my subs. So, remember how it seemed like he had a blockade somewhere around here? And maybe here? I think he's just expanded that or moved it right around here. So, going this way might be required to get to safe port to get past 10 strength. Or otherwise, he might just have everything blockaded in general. Maybe even down here. I'm not really sure. And I don't feel like testing that. Rather, I'm going to go raid USA UK some more because I think he's wanting to dump a lot of money into the UK, but not the USSR, which is very strange. Maybe he just thinks they're fine for now. He doesn't want me to raid. I don't know. He's just like, turn that off so he doesn't have to protect this, so he could do something more like this. Maybe that's his plan. I'm not sure. It's really hard to tell. But that's my sub movements. I guess basically all of them already. I don't see any other reason to move any other subs. And we're gonna end this episode here because we're already in progress on this one. So we'll get into this truly on the next one. So for now, thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you on that next one.